A new day. A master swordsman watches two young men sparring. The students are using wooden bouquet and a very precise but firm stance. The taller boy scores a chest hit which, had they been using real swords, would have been fatal. The master approached and asked the shorter boy, Yoshikatsu, "Why did you lose?" Katsuyoshi looked at his master and replied, "Because Daisuke is better than me." The master immediately replied, "No. You lost by rushing in without protecting your center. If your father would have fought like that. Well, I suppose your father did fight like that, and here you are." He sighed. Daisuke interrupted him. "Iwata-sensei? Are you having a flashback or something? I do believe you were scolding my little brother on his recklessness." Kengo laughed and said, "Right, my point was that you don't win by killing your opponent. You win by living or protecting that which your opponent threatens. If you want to be a royal guard, you had better learn fast. The captain will not be so lenient about such matters." Yoshikatsu apologized and asked for forgiveness. Kengo told him to protect himself in the future. A beautiful woman approached them and spoke. "I'm sorry to interrupt your training session. I just came to see if they were going to compete in the exam." Kengo smiled and said, "No need to apologize, Lady Mari. It's always a pleasure to have a visit from you. Are you here on the orders of the captain?" Mari replied, "Actually, I'm here on my own accord. Everyone in town is comparing you two to Jubai. His Majesty was very impressed when Jubai competed in the exam. I figured the two of you would." Daisuke interrupted. "We don't need any more praise from father. He already won't shut up about Jubai being the captain's top student. He lives in the past too much. He's always late and never stops talking about how strong he was. He won't let me do something as simple as grabbing a sword without hearing about my uncle of my father." Yoshikatsu responded, "I don't mind him telling stories. It's fun to see his face reliving the old days. I hope my time in the exam is half as legendary as his." "Hey, Iwata-sensei, what was father like before? Like when you guys fought those demons?" Kengo laughed. "Honestly, he was amazing. He could teleport and always fought valiantly. He has certainly been through a lot. However, he was always quick to action, sometimes to our detriment. Something a lot of people don't know is that I joined almost at the end of their journey. You know, Daisuke, your father was even more impressive." Daisuke stopped him before he could continue. "I don't need to hear it from you too. If my father was so great, he would be here to prove it." Mari and Kengo both glared at Daisuke. "Young man, don't be mistaken. He didn't die just to abandon you. Yoshi Amana sacrificed his life so that this world could exist. A new goal." Daisuke interrupted them. "There was a time both of you assumed he was a traitor. If I had said that about him then, would you still have scolded me?" Kengo and Mari lowered their heads in shame. Kengo then spoke. "I had made a rash judgment. I admit that he threw Risei off a bridge. I understand your feelings towards your father. But you can't just assume you know before you see the truth." Daisuke asked, "What about your father, Master Iwata? I heard he was a royal guard." Kengo responded, "I assumed I knew what was going on and thus hated him. I thought he was a deadbeat that abandoned me. He died fighting Onikage, and I wasn't upset in the slightest. Until Onikage resurrected him. He explained everything, and now I understand he wasn't the monster I assumed. All I'm trying to say is, your father was a hero. Don't assume you understand his choice." Daisuke asked, "How did he resurrect your father?" Kengo immediately responded with, "Don't dwell on the past, boy. Just focus on the exam ahead of you. That's VT's history, you write your own. You boys have the rest of the day off. However, I would like to suggest you practice." The boys bowed and exited the dojo. Mari approached Kengo and asked, "Did you see that look?" Kengo answered, of course, it was like his ghost, whenever Onikage was mentioned. This kid doesn't have a proxy for his father's death. And being as talented as he is, I fear he could be dangerous. If he doesn't have a goal, he'll make himself 1 inch. Mari looked concerned. Kengo said, I'll go to the monk. Could you ask if the captain would be willing to talk to the young Amana? Of course. Kengo, you're pretty smart. Kengo responded, I guess my father did leave me something besides my sword. In a wooded area, the boys practiced their kendo all alone. Daisuke paused all of a sudden, and noticing that, Yoshikatsu asked him why. Daisuke responded, has Dad ever told you about my father or Onikage? Yoshikatsu looked surprised and answered, yes, he often speaks about their battle. Why do you ask? I know he has told you a few times. Daisuke got excited. I want to meet him. Sensei said Onikage could bring back the dead. What if the sword he's sealed in? Yoshikatsu interrupted him. Absolutely not. The Onika were sealed in the temple, never to be touched by anyone. Daisuke blurted out, but if we could revive the dead, I could ask him for myself. It's worth a shot to at least ask the monk. Yoshikatsu sighed and agreed. We should ask father before anyone. Daisuke laughed and responded, noted, and immediately disregarded. And so, the two departed for the temple. A new land. A giant man sat cross-legged in front of a huge scroll in a temple. He heard something approaching and immediately sprang up. Who dares break my meditation? Another man ventured closer. Gonda. Relax. It's an old comrade. Motohide stepped into Gonda's field of view. The giant responded with a greeting gesture. Mori, it's nice of you to visit. Motohide asked, so this is where you plan to retire? Gonda laughed. Only as long as His Majesty remains in power. I will protect the Onika from any who would misuse them. Motohide asked, what will you do after? Find a talented individual to pass Reijiki to. I was thinking about Kyushu. I'm a legend now. I have some young fools building a temple, castle, and the start of a town. My son will pretty much be like a king there. I already asked His Majesty. I'll be completely independent. Perhaps you should consider the same for Shikoku. Motohide responded, I was thinking about Chugoku actually. On the mainland. Reminds me of the captain's sister. Motohide asked, the queen? Gonda no, the other one. My sister the traitor Himiko, wife of Kanto Taira. She has her residence in Kanto with my nephew Taira Masatada. While they were lost in that conversation, an old man silently walked to them. Motohide turned towards him and greeted him. Grandmaster Iga, pleasant meeting you here. Sonoto returned pleasantries. It's nice to see you here too. Master Shimazu and Mori, I heard you mention the Taira. So I decided to come by and see if you had anything to say on the matter. I have been keeping a close eye on them. I still haven't forgotten her words, the Taira will never forgive you, after the battle with Onikage. She tried to kill Lord Risei. Risei, the kind man he is, spared her life. After all, she is family, he said. We learned she was carrying Kanto's child. For that reason alone, would have dealt with her then and there, especially after that threat. But as of recent, she hasn't raised an army. The only thing she does is tell her son to never forgive the king. But for now, the Taira remain loyal. Motohide expressed how impressed he was with Sonoto's intelligence network. Sonoto asked Motohide, where in Chugoku are you planning on going? I've already got ninja in Kyushu, and Kanto looked for undesirable and unlawful individuals. Gonda interrupted, how do you know of my retirement? I am no threat. I'm a member of VT, brother of the captain. I would never betray my king. Sonoto laughed. My ninja only does two things. Gather information and silently remove threats. A new quest. You aren't the threat in Kyushu. There is a band of unsettling marauders. Well, there was such a group at least. Motohide, surprised, asked, "You already handled the problem?" Sonoto responded, "I sent one of my best ninja to Kyushu. He found a group of bandits harassing the monk's operation and stealing. He silently and swiftly removed the troublemakers. My ninja does two things: gather information and eliminate threats to all under His Majesty's protection." Motohide asked if he would be given the same treatment in Shugoku. Sonoto responded, "No, I will send Hanzo to your land. He is the best, and given time, he may even surpass me. Soon my students will raise students of their own. Each ninja is given a ninji. Each will protect an area under His Majesty's control. With the spread of ninja, our new world will be safer. However, my scouts have picked up interesting reports." A new broad figure emerged from the darkness, whispering quietly. "Okami, the last kami. These are your reports, am I correct?" The old guard noticed the identity of the figure and saluted. Sonoto answered, "You are well informed, Captain. The reports have spread this far. This is most troubling." Ganda asked, "Okami? A wolf?" Motohide answered, "I do remember His Majesty inquiring about the existence of a wolf carrying a sword. An alleged kami, but we decided that it didn't exist." Sonoto asked, "If it does exist, not even the ninja could fight such a beast. On top of that, I've only taught a couple of ninjas my seals. Not a lot of use for seals in a world without Onika." The captain responded, "A world with a single Onika. My mother fought Okami. The Dark One, a corrupted kami. Once a brilliant creature of the light, it was corrupted by darkness, gray. Tsukuyumi tainted Okami with Yomi. The sword it wields is the source of its darkness. It was forged by Yomi, and it grew stronger. The light beast battles its cursed blade, fighting its duality. There is no wonder we couldn't find it. It's hidden from the world. It is in your home, Grandmaster. Natokato Cave, in IGA. My wife knows it well. She can lead you there. I will watch after the Onika. The king's younger boys are in over their heads." Mari entered the temple with her owl, Hachiko. "Looks like VT is out of retirement. A new king." At a shrine on a grassy hillside, an old man sits cross-legged in front of 5 gravestones. They read, "King Ichiban the First Man, Royal Guard Captain and former Kenshiro Jushiro, Demoyo, first to join VT, a young hero that gave his life to beat Sannin. Royal Guard Daisuyo Amana, heir to Amana, the first son and hero that saved the king. The last read Yoshi Amana, the hero that saved the world. The man who gave his life to save humanity from an immortal tyrant." The old man was talking at length. "And how about another drink, guys?" He then poured 5 drinks, pouring half the drink on each grave and drinking the other half. "I'm not fit to be king. It should have been Yoshi or Ninaji. The people chose me. They call me a hero or monster killer. The worst is Niban. I don't deserve a title as such. You guys died heroes in battle. I failed to honor my promise to protect everyone. I hope you can forgive me. Lord Ichiban, I'm making a mockery of your title. Demoyo, I couldn't beat Sannin, and it cost you your life. Daisuyo, we weren't ready, yet I made us fight him. Captain Jushiro, I failed to save anyone. Yoshi, I failed so bad that you took my goal into your hands. You paid my toll. I still can't get Daisuke to acknowledge you. I'm sorry for my failures." A feminine figure approached him from behind. "There you are. You don't have to apologize every day. You've done nothing wrong. You did everything you could." King Rise looked at her and stood up, before saying, "You are far too kind, my queen. I'm sorry, I can't forget them. For responded, neither can I, but you spend more time with the dead than the living. There are serious matters afoot. Daisuke is planning on stealing an Onika. On top of that, Mari, Gonda, Motohide and Sonoto have found another one. We must attend to these matters. As king and queen. Rise agreed, and the two teleported away. A new solution. Seeing Gonda and the old guard leave, Daisuke and Yoshikatsu waited until the cover of night to enter the temple. If we get caught, we will be executed. Nobody except the king and VT are allowed in the monk's temple, Yoshikatsu showed his worry. Daisuke interrupted, quiet, idiot. The king is our dad, and the captain is our uncle. If anyone was willing to kill us, it would be the peg-leg ninja. That guy is intense. I saw him and his spies execute a group of traitors. But Dad wouldn't allow that, right? Yoshikatsu asked. Daisuke, if you are okay calling His Majesty Dad, why are you so obsessed with Lord Amana? Daisuke interrupted him. That's why your father is the king. My father is a tale. I don't even know if he is real. All I know is stories. The king's bastard, Amana boy and son of a hero. That's what I am. Those names are all I ever hear. Not Daisuke Amana son of Yoshi. I don't want to know only tales and fables about him. Yoshikatsu responded, I don't care who your dad is. To me, you are still my brother. Please, let's go, I don't want you to get in trouble. Daisuke teared up and approached his brother, holding him in a hug. When Yoshikatsu got distracted, Daisuke knocked him out. I'm sorry, brother, but I have to know. This way, if I get caught, you won't be considered guilty. He entered the temple alone. It was dark inside, no candles or lamps were lit at the time. Using ki, he made a lamp spell as he searched for the Onika scroll. He stumbled around until he found it at last. As he reached out for it, a hand grabbed his wrist, and the whole temple lit up. He stared into a pair of serious fiery eyes. Captain. Ninaji held his wrist tightly and said, Boy, do you have any idea what is at your fingertips? Daisuke responded, Yes. The only way I can meet my real father. A grim look formed on Ninaji's face as he remembered Yoshi as he once spoke to him. You know, Ninaji. I'm proud of you. You sacrificed family for humanity. I did something similar. I don't think I'll ever meet my son. Thinking of it, Ninaji swore Yoshi was on the verge of tears. I'm sorry, nephew. I can't let you unseal the Onika. Before Daisuke could continue, a voice rang out from the temple. It wouldn't do you any good. That sword can't bring back the dead. A new arrival. Mari arrived with VT at a cave outside of IGA. Gonda laughed at Sonoto. So much for your perfect spy network. You couldn't find a dog in your own backyard. Sonoto glared but remained silent. Motohide boldly yelled at the cave. Hey, Okami, are you in there? A dark canine figure came to the cave entrance. Mari read its key. Poor thing, it's not a monster. That sword is corrupt. If we could just... Gonda interrupted her. Don't even suggest trying to spare it. We came here to seal the last monster, and that's what I'll do. Gonda charged in with a giant staff. Motohide and Sonoto followed with swords. Mari sighed and followed them in. Gonda's staff was quickly cut in half. The three men charged the beast only to be knocked down. Okami then filled the cave with black smoke, blinding and suffocating everyone. Motohide coughed and asked, Why didn't we ask the captain or His Majesty for help? A distant voice resonated then. How about asking Her Majesty instead? A purple eye glowed, and the voice yelled, Bankes. As a gale dispersed the smoke, Queen Fu's figure emerged from it. Sorry I was late, I had to get Bankes. I knew we would need it. Just then, Okami slammed into her. Mari grabbed Sonoto and whispered a plan into his ear. Motohide charged the Onika, and as soon as his sword made contact with Yami, it shattered. Sonoto rushed to Ganda. Mari rushed to Fu and started to heal her. Okami lunged at Mari, who screamed, and Hachiko flew to intercept the blade. Mari began to weep when she saw a flash of electricity surging across the room as Okami went flying and dropped Yami, with Hachiko still impaled. Ganda's fist pulsed with tremendous electricity. Sonoto rushed to place the seal again. Mari placed her hand on Hachiko. Hachiko, you can't go. You're my healing powers. Without you, I'm nothing. Hachiko looked at the sword, and Mari knew what to do. She used the last of hers and Hachiko's healing key to purify the sword. As Hachiko disappeared, Mari said her goodbyes as the owl healed the cursed sword. With the sword, Mari approached Okami. Now that the sword had been taken away, Okami was much calmer. Mari placed the newly named Shiro blade in its mouth. She immediately ran to Fu and impaled her with the sword. Everyone looked on in shock. Sonoto shouted, "I can still use my heart seal." "Wait." Fu opened her eyes soon after. "My wounds, I don't understand." Mari declared, "That sword heals wounds. Okami is a good spirit. It was corrupted by Yami. Hachiko saved Okami by sacrificing its life." Everyone looked at each other. "Compromise. Your Majesty. I'm sorry." Daisuke kneeled on the ground in shame. "I shall accept any punishment you deem fit." Risei asked, "My youngest son Yashikatsu, did he conspire with you? Was he the one behind this?" Daisuke immediately responded, "No. He attempted to stop me, and I knocked him out. I alone bear the blame, and I alone should be punished." Risei cried noticeably. In his head, he remembered Yoshi using Shirsui's eye after Risei won. "You are his son, yet the two of you have never met. He is the reason I'm here today. The way you protected your brother, even if it cost your life, that is a mana manifest. I shall grant your request and use that foul power." Captain Ninigi was stunned, as was Daisuke. Ninigi remembered when Risei spared his sister after the final battle. "I was the one who recommended her execution. Risei, you are too kind. Maybe I'm too harsh. Either way, I never expected to see him agree to such a request. It could be he secretly also wants to say goodbye or sorry in person." Risei instructed Daisuke to rise. Daisuke asked, "If the sword doesn't have the power, what does?" Risei said, "His third eye." He removed his glove and revealed a black eye with a radiant purple glow in his palm. "This is the other half of Oniki's power." Standing up, he began to chant. Inorganic reanimation. Yoshi Amana, the savior of man. Come forth from the far plane. Exist in the physical world once more. Everyone looked around, curious to see what would happen. Risei told them to go outside. Waiting there was a hole in the ground, and standing inside was a perfect replica of Yoshi Amana. Risei began to tear up. He got down on his hands and knees and blurted, "I'm sorry for reanimating you like this, using his terrible power. Daisuke, the boy needs to speak with you. I hope you can forgive my rudeness and inability to dash." Yoshi interrupted him. "Enough. You idiot, you still haven't changed. I'm not mad, I'm thankful for this reunion and for being able to see my son in person. The others and I watch you guys constantly. Even the king. Risei, I've talked to them all. We are honored for your time and effort at the shrine, but we have one more thing to ask of you." Risei immediately asked, "What is your request?" "Statues, temples, celebration days, whatever you need is yours." Yoshi smiled. "You need to forgive yourself. We all fought and died for the same future you fought for. You did everything you could, so please stop feeling guilty. We believed in you, and you did us all proud. The world you crafted is everything we ever wanted. So, please stop blaming yourself for your choices. We are proud of you. Thank you, Risei, King of Humanity. Risei stood up, and with a new resolve, proudly stated. Thank you, Yoshi Amana, Savior of Humanity. Now it's time for you to meet with Daisuke. Go ahead, boy, he's been waiting a long time. Daisuke was at a loss for words. All he could say was, "You're a lot smaller than I thought. Everyone makes you sound so big." Yoshi laughed. I must have made an impression. Look, I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry, I left you with the most trusted people I know. I want you to know I watch you every day. I'm so proud of your abilities. I know that you will face the exam next month, just like the man you're named after. Did you know he and the knucklehead over there passed the same exam? I never got a chance to take it. But anyway, I don't expect you to accept my apology. I just wanted you to know that while I fought with VT, your future was always in my thoughts. Daisuke had tears in his eyes. Father, may I ask a few more questions? Yoshi smiled and agreed. He still had time. A new meeting. Yoshi and Daisuke talked deep into the late night. VT returned from IGA. Everyone was shocked to see Yoshi. Risei explained the situation to them, and everyone took a moment to thank him for this world free of tyranny. He thanked them for helping shape this world in return. Meanwhile, I was summoned before my siblings for the first time in thousands of years upon hearing their world-changing decision. I waited for the king and queen in Yashiki Castle. I placed 4 cards on the table. Death, rebirth, and 2 wild cards. When they arrived, I greeted them. It's been a long time. I bring a very important update from Kamui. Risei interrupted, the mother and father? I nodded. Risei glared at the cards on the table. You may choose this once. My siblings have called an audience with just the 2 of you. King and Queen, I need not remind you of what's at stake here. Make your choice carefully. This will be your most important. Fu looked at the card Risei chose, and a tear rolled down her face as she pulled her card. Fu asked, when? When is this meeting to take place? Suddenly the night faded, and daylight showed up. All of VT immediately came to the throne room. Risei grinned. It looks like we didn't have a moment even. They can even control time. Fu took this opportunity to address VT. My brothers and sister. I must go to Kamui with the king. I don't know what is going to happen. But, if we don't, if we can't. Risei interrupted his wife. If we don't come back, protect the boys, protect the people and protect each other. I'm proud to have fought with all of you. Should we not meet again, build a world of marvel. One that would inspire awe and wonder even to me. I could not pick better hands to leave it in. He then looked at me. Old man Zwa, the time has come. Let's go. VT cheered on their king and queen as I teleported them to Kamui, the castle in the sky. As they approached the grand building, an ominous wind blew, the sensation of unfulfilled destiny filling their bodies. A new world. Risei was tense. He honestly had no idea what to expect. The palace front gate opened, and a brilliant and bright tall figure approached. Risei blurted out in awe. The father, Izanagi no Okami. When I was young, I thought he was only a legend. I can't believe I stand before the father of Lord Ichiban, Onikage, and Kamikaze. I have no idea about what he could possibly be after. All I know is I hope he is after peace, because in a fight, he may be stronger than Onikage, and then there's. From the entrance, another shorter, darker figure emerged. Fu spoke in awe. The mother, Izanami no Mikoto. My grandmother, I never imagined I'd. Izanami walked forward and said, Grandmother. How interesting. The Onika are also my grandchildren in this respect. Izanagi interrupted her. I am supposed to talk first. Greetings, children of Ichiban. I'm sorry the road here was so painful. Rise shook his head. She's the child of Ichiban. I'm just her husband. Izanagi laughed and replied, not exactly. All humans are Ichiban's children. There is no shame in it. However, I did call this meeting to make an offer to you. Rise responded with haste. May I ask the nature of your request? Izanagi simply said, all of the Onika, every single one. We will reunite with them. After that, we will fuse together, becoming a new Kotoeme Tsukumi. Then, we shall make a new world without Onika. You will be our only Onika. Rise will be the Kami, and Fu shall be the Oni. A new human timeline. With you as well as Ichiban, Onikage and Kamikaze, all at once. Rise and Fu looked at one another. Here. The timeline splits into two parts. In one timeline, Fu and Rise become gods and birth humanity anew. However, in our timeline, Rise asked, does that mean everyone else will die? Yes. Humanity as a whole will be rewritten by you. Rise looked at Fu and smirked. She nodded. Then, he declared, I am afraid we have nothing further to discuss in this case. I won't let you kill my family and friends. I won't let you destroy my world. Izanagi frowned. Unfortunate, but this is my world, not yours. This is the best option I can think of. We spent 25 years deciding what to do. 2 Onika, you and Fu. Then, just humans and animals. They will worship you, and you will serve us. We will remake the planet and animals. You shall remake the humans. We will make you immortal and give you unimaginable strength and power. You would each be as strong as Onikage. You would rule humanity forever, and we promise this time it will be perfect. Fu looked at Rise and then at herself, and she yelled, we don't need a perfect world. Humans want perfection but can't tolerate it. Rise and I have many scars as proof that we don't take shortcuts. This is our world too. In a furious tone, Izanagi stated, this is your last chance, join or die. But don't be mistaken. If we kill you here, humanity will die with you as well. Rise gripped the card he took from the table tightly and yelled. Then. We have no choice but to seal you. Let's go, Fu. After activation, the card turned into the Onika scroll. Rise opened the scroll and unsealed Benkei's, throwing it to Fu. He then unsealed Shuren and held the blade up. Fu entered her ascended trance while Rise entered his as well. However, seeing this, Izanagi simply snapped his fingers, and they returned to their base forms. We created the Onika. It is easy for us to remove them from you. Izanagi joined in, we are the far plane. Divine Ki is our power. It can't be used by the likes of you any longer. You have proven that humanity and its free will are too dangerous. Now it is my grim duty to exterminate your entire race. Without Divine Ki, you can't even touch us. Farewell. Izanagi then fabricated his sword. Rise looked at Fu and removed his eye patch. Fu was surprised, but she still nodded and understood. Fu pulled out her card. Rise looked at it, and the two of them remembered my words to Yoshi. Not even the fates know the value of a wild card. All or nothing. Fu activated the card, and the chain of Amana appeared before her. Rise looked at her and yelled, let's go. They teleported behind Izanagi and Izanami. The latter laughed. You fools. I can kill you both with a single attack. She hadn't even finished saying that, however, that her eyes grew round in surprise. Wait for a second, I can't move. What is going on? Rise. Announced time had been stopped for 10 seconds. The Eye of Shursui, thank you, Yoshi. He remembered after he beat Yoshi before the final battle. Yoshi froze him with the same power, then gifted him the eye. Fu wrapped them in the chains. Risei drew the blades of Amana and Shui. He then threw the blade of Shui to his queen. He asked, "Do you remember that seal?" Fu answered, "Of course." Risei stabbed Izanagi in the chest. Fu stabbed Izanami in the back, then they both placed their hands over their hearts and grabbed the blades tightly. "We sacrifice our lives to seal Izanagi and Izanami into these blades forever. Great death seal Izanagi and Izanami." A source of ki emanated from the eye of Shui. It took a human spectral form and grabbed each blade as well. "You guys did it. This is the last of the Onika." It was a long shot. But I'm glad I hid away enough ki to see it. Risei and Fu said, "Thank you, Yoshi, we will see you soon." Time had resumed, and Izanagi and Izanami began to be absorbed into the swords. Izanami screamed, "This is impossible. How could we lose to pitiful mortals?" Izanagi smiled and said, "It looks like you solved your own problem. Human free will was more resolute than I expected." Risei and Fu felt all the ki leave their bodies as the original Onika disappeared. Kamui began to crumble. Risei crawled to Fu and embraced her one last time. "I'm sorry. It had to end like this. Even though we die here, they will live on. A new era of humanity." Fu looked at him with tears in her eyes. "I'm glad that after all this time, it all ends together with you. In your arms. Oh, I do wish I could have met Jubiai and Lady K's child. Our first grandchild." Fu started to weep, but Risei reassured her. "Someday, my queen. I would have liked to see the boys in the exam. There are so many things left undone, but I'm satisfied. My destiny has been fulfilled." Kamui finally crumbled and fell from the sky. Not a single onlooker had dry eyes. The king and queen had died to ultimately save humanity. This was the end of the tale of Fu and Risei. However, this story is far from over.